All right, so if you're sticking for a foam roller, we're gonna start in a standing position. So grab your roller and then away we go. Make sure your gear, your stuff is just a little bit out of the way. So move your washcloth. All right, so leaving our roller on the ground, we're gonna come back to our feet, right? First thing to start. So we're gonna step the right foot back just a little bit into a little demi lunge and use your roller as a third point of contact. So we're just gonna use it as our point of balance. And then we're gonna roll through the foot. So we're gonna roll onto the toes, get a little stretch to the top of the foot and the ankles, and then push back into your heel, get a little stretch to your heel and your calf. Roll through the foot, get a little stretch to the top of the ankle, and then roll back, push into the heel. Beautiful. Take a few more times, just rolling through that foot. Go at a pace that feels good to you. Pause along the way anywhere that you feel like you find a good sensation. Beautiful. One more time through on this side. And then step that foot forward, step your other foot back, find your lunge first. If you need to rearrange your roller so it's a good and supportive position, take a second. And then when you're ready, roll through onto the top of the foot, push back into the heel. Nice. Go just as fast or as slow as you like. Pause in any places where you feel like that's a good sensation that you want to just stay with for an extra second. Beautiful. One more time through on the side. And then when you're ready, we're going to walk both feet back. So hands on the roller, walk your feet back, and we're going to find that nice standing downward dog situation. So making a little bit of a V shape with the body, let your head drop down between your arms. And then think about letting your chest just get nice and heavy for a second. So you're going to feel that little stretch, hopefully up in your shoulders, maybe in between your shoulder blades. But there's a little bit of a softness to the belly so that your shoulders can sink down just a little bit more. So if you can find that, take a second to find that softness in your belly. And then we're going to go reverse of that softness in the belly. So think about pulling the abdominal muscles up and almost as if you were trying to take a push-up position. So broaden your shoulders and let your head come out of that space between your arms, and then soften the belly and let your head drop down. And then we're going to do that again. So pull the abdominal muscles up, rounding the back just a little bit. The head comes up, and then soften again. Let your head drop down. Nice. 3 more just like that. Rounding the back so we activate the abdominal muscles and broaden the shoulders, and then soften and release. Beautiful. 2 more to go. Nice. And then come up nice and slow, soften your knees, lift your way up. And then we're going to take that roller, pick it up, and take it into a little bit of a side to side motion. So grab the ends of the rollers, and we're just going to swing it a little hip to hip, just to find a little spinal rotation and get the central nervous system back on board. Beautiful. One more little swing side to side here. And then as you come back to center, make sure both feet are nice and heavily weighted on the ground. Reach up and overhead, but with a soft grab. And we're just going to take a couple of side bends here. So soften the arms, soften the shoulders, and mostly working through the side of the body. One more time each side. And then as you come back to center, we're going to roll our way down. So with that roller up and overhead, soften your knees, tuck your chin to your chest, and then like you're peeling your back away from the roll, away from a wall. Roll your way down to the ground. And then once that roller hits the ground, super generous bend in the knees, we're going to start to steamroll the tops of the feet. So walk that roller up towards your ankles, put a little press on, walk it down to your toes. And then just take a few times up and down, working at your pace and putting as much pressure as feels appropriate to your feet. Take one more little steam roll up and down. And then the next time it rolls off the toes, leave it on the ground, and we're going to start to find our way down into a tabletop position. So hands on the roller, step one knee down and then the other. And then once you've found your tabletop, move right into a cat and cow. Inhale, drop your belly, lift your chest, lift your tail. Exhale and round your back. Inhale to drop your belly. Exhale to round. Take 3 more cycles of breath and just move at a depth and a pace that works good for you. Beautiful. And then once you've completed those cycles of breath with a neutral spine, we're going to bring the big toes together, knees out to the outer edges of your mat, back to what would we call extended child's pose. So bring your butt back to your heels, but pull the roller up and in with you. And then if you're wearing glasses, you might just opt to take them off, set them off to the side so that they're somewhere safe, so that you can rest your forehead on the roller. So with the elbows soft, soften your forehead onto the roller, and then just allow a moment here to invite some softness in. Soften your jaw, soften your eyes. With your forehead on the roller, whether it's between your eyebrow space or just up, or more up towards the hairline, whatever feels like a better place to place it. If it feels good to do so, you're going to rock your head a little side to side. One more little turn of the head side to side. And then as you bring your head back to center, gently lift your head away from the roller. And then if you need to put your glasses back on, take a second to do so. But we're going to keep this position of the legs, and we're going to walk the roller forward just a little bit. So left hand is going to stay on the roller, but we're going to keep our spine straight. Right hand is going to thread through. So imagine that it's that position where you pull the arm across the chest. So that's what we're shooting for. Left arm is on the roller, extend it out. Right hand is just going to reach across, and then you're going to let the back of your body soften, but you're going to keep your spine as straight as you can. So you're reaching through the left arm, the right arm reaches across. Soften the back of your neck, soften the back of your body. Take a nice big breath. Cool. And then put a little press into that left hand to help lift you back up. And now we're going to switch. So right hand's going to extend onto the roller. Left hand is going to thread through, but the spine is going to stay stable. So we're keeping our spine straight, which might mean you need to wiggle your left arm around a little bit to find it into the space that works good. But then once you've got it, let your chest soften, back of the body soften, back of your head soften. Great. And then when you're ready, push into your right hand to help assist and lift you up. Both hands on the roller. We're going to lift up, walk your knees in. So now knees are going to be in line with the hips. And now we're going to take it into that different variation of threading the needle. So right hand's going to thread through and underneath as the left hand reaches forward, and the spine is going to move with. So right ear, right shoulder are going to come towards the ground. Looking under your left arm, take a nice big breath. Awesome. And then when you're ready, lift everything back up and in. So we pull the roller in with, right hand on the roller, left hand threads through, and the roller extends out as we drop the left ear and shoulder towards the ground. Beautiful. When you're ready, nice and slow. Bring it all up, back and in. Left hand on the roller, and now right hand on the ground, and we're going to steamroll the top of the hand. So you're going to push into the roller, rolling up towards the wrist and down towards the fingertips, putting as much pressure on as feels appropriate to you. Beautiful. One more roll up and down. We're going to stay with that right hand on the ground, but as you roll the roller off, now can you flip the palm, which might mean you need to set your weight back into your heels just a little bit so the back of the hand is on the ground, and then back to that steamroll. Put a little press on and roll up and down the palm. Beautiful. One more roll up and down here. And then we're going to switch and take it over to the other side. So right hand is going to come onto the roller, left hand palm facing down, and then put a little pressure on as you roll up towards the wrist and down towards the fingertips. Great. One more roll up and down. And then the next time you roll off, flip so the left palm faces upward, and you might choose to set your butt back just a little bit so it's not too much pressure on the wrist, and then roll up towards the wrist crease down to the fingertips. Beautiful. One more roll up and down here. And then once you roll off, reset your roller as needed. We're going to take it right into that puppy pose or heart melting pose. So with both hands on the roller, hips in line with the knees, as wide a configuration as works good for your shoulders. Reach out nice and long, and then just let your chest and your forehead melt down. Take 3 nice big breaths. Beautiful. And then pull your abdominal muscles in to help come up nice and strong. We're going to pull that roller a little bit closer so the weight is back in your heels, placing your forearms, palms facing down. Just give a gentle roll up towards the elbow joint, down towards the wrist. So most of your weight here is back into your heels, so you're not putting too much pressure on the shoulder joint or on the elbow joint. Lovely. One more time forward and back, and then we're going to flip, palms facing up towards the ceiling. So reverse the back sides of your arms on the roller, and then away we go, and still keeping that weight back towards your heels so it's not too much pressure on the shoulders or the elbow joint. Beautiful. One more time, in and out. And then we're going to move that roller on up and in so that we can place our belly on the roller. But we're going to support with the elbows and forearms and with the knees. So you're going to get that roller in line with your belly button, but stay off most of the weight. Let most of the weight be supported by your shoulders, by your elbows, and by your knees. And then once you feel like you've got the roller lined up with your belly button, then we're going to soften slightly over the roller. So just feel a little pressure on your belly. Take a breath. And then push into your knees, push into your forearms, so you push the belly button up and away from the roller. And then when you're ready, soften again, let the muscles relax over the roller. And then push into your knees, push into your forearms, firm up the abdominal muscles, push the roller away. Beautiful. One more just like that. Soften over the roller. Nice. Push into your arms, push into your knees, firm up your abdominal muscles, and then lift up slightly. We're going to move that roller down a little bit, and we're going to line it up with the hip bones. So we're going to find those front protruding hip bones, and it's still most of the weight is being supported by the knees and the elbows and the forearms. So we're not putting too much pressure, especially in these areas that either don't have a lot of bony structure to protect them, or especially in the front of the hip bones, there's just not a lot of flesh. So it just might feel tender there. So be mindful. And then once you feel like you've got it lined up, we're just going to take a little bit of a rock to the butt side to side. So again, the elbows are supporting, the knees are still on the ground, and you're rocking gently side to side. Just think hip bone to hip bone. One more little rock side to side, and then we're going to roll slightly over onto the right. So you might have to readjust your hands. I choose to plant my left hand down and then swivel my left foot a little bit. So I'm on the side of my hip, where still there might not be a lot of flesh or a lot of muscle there. So we just want to be mindful that we don't put too much pressure on. And then once you feel like you're in a nice position, well supported, give a little rock up and down. One more little rock up and down, and then come back to center. Roll gently on so that you line up those hip bones again, readjust anything that you need to so it feels still really supportive. And then once you found your way there, we're going to roll over onto the other side. So just roll over onto the left, the right hand and right foot will help support. Once you feel like it's a good position, roll up and down. Awesome. One more roll up and down. And then we're going to, with control, bring it back to center, and then just pushing into the knees, lift up so that you can move that roller down. And now we're going to get onto the thighs. So once you've found the roller underneath your thighs rather than on those hip bones, then you might choose to put a little bit more weight on. So toes on the ground, elbows and forearms down, and we're just gonna give a nice little rock forward and back. Think about 3 or 4 inches here. Beautiful. And then at the bottom of that roll, stay there, bend your knees. We're gonna swish the heels a little bit side to side. Keep a light little firmness in the belly so that your low back feels supported and a little bit of a broadness in your shoulders so your shoulders feel stable. One more little swish of the heels side to side, and then we're gonna take it into like some alternating kicks. So one toe touches the ground and then the other. Beautiful. One more toe touch each side, and then both toes on the ground. Just come back to the top of that roll. Roll up and down 2 or 3 more times just to kind of soothe all that out. And then we're going to move on down the thighs, which might mean you just choose to pick up the thighs and move it manually, or you might choose to scooch up your roller, whatever works better for the space that you're working in. Once you've got it moved down to the middle of the thighs, back to that nice gentle roll up and down. Think 3 or 4 inches. Beautiful. And then as you come to that bottom of the roll, bend your knees, swish your heels side to side. One more swish side to side, and then keeping the knees bent, we're going to alternate those little toe touches. So one toe touches the ground and then the other. Beautiful. And then let both toes touch the ground and then just give a nice little soft roll. Maybe working all the way up to the tops of the thighs and down to the bottom edge of that space where you were just working. One last roll up and down, and then we're going to move it on down to the bottom quadrant of our thighs. So you might choose to manually lift up, move the roller down, or scoot your way on up the roller, whatever works better for you. But we're staying off of the knee joint. We're just right at the top of the thigh where the knee and the thigh meet. And then once you found your way there, a nice gentle roll. Now you might be going about 2 or 3 inches. So it might be slightly smaller roll. Beautiful. One more little roll up and down. And then at the bottom of that roll, bend your knees. Make sure your belly is nice and firm here, especially as we get further away from the center, and swish your heels side to side just in a range of motion that feels appropriate. Beautiful. One more little swish side to side. And then as you bring them back to center, alternate those toe taps. One toe touches the ground and then the other. One more time each side, or even yourself out. And then a big giant roll all the way up to the tops of the thighs and then all the way down to the bottom, staying off of the knee joint, just working across the thighs. Nice, big, generous roll. Beautiful. One more roll up and down. And then we're going to find our way into a tabletop position so that we can place the shins onto the roller. So hoist yourself up into that tabletop position and then place your knees over the roller. So shins are on the roller, and then just take a few pulls in and out. Knees draw towards the chest and then push the heels away. Beautiful. Nice. One more pull in and out. And then when you're ready, sit back onto your heels. We're going to flip ourselves around so that we can place our calves on the roller. So move your roller along, set your butt down, and then spin your legs out and over your roller. And then once you've got your backs of your calves on the roller, right into our little roller walk. So you're just walking that roller up towards the backs of the knees and then back down towards the ankles. Hands can be on the ground, hands can be in your thighs, hands wherever is the most comfortable, but we mostly want to see if we can make the legs do most of our work here. Nice. And then the next time you come down to the bottom of your calves, we're going to stay there. Let the muscles get nice and heavy on the roller. And then here you might choose to place your hands down so you can just swish your toes a little side to side. Beautiful. And then the next time, both toes switch over to the left. Keep them turned to the left. Push into your hands. Lift your butt up. Give a gentle roll up and down. So super small. Think 1 inch of movement here. Nice. And then set your butt down. Turn your toes over to the other side. Both toes are turned to the right. Keep them there. Lift your butt up and give a gentle roll here, about 1 or 2 inches. Not a big movement. Wonderful. And then when you're ready, set your butt down. And now we're going to move that roller up and in. So find the middle part of your calf, that nice thick part. And then once you found there, swish your toes side to side. Cool. And then once your toes turn to the left, stay there, lift your butt up. And then a gentle roll here, and you might go about 2 inches. You have a little bit more range of motion here, or at least a little bit more texture to work against. Wonderful. And then set your butt down, swish your toes over to the other side, stay there, lift your butt up, and give a nice little roll up and down. Beautiful. And then set your butt down, bring it back up so that you're finding the top part of the calf. So right about where the calf meets the knees, soften back a little bit so you can just relax. Let the muscle tissue relax on the roller for a second and let your feet be nice and heavy. Nice. And then if it feels good to do so, you're going to swish your toes a little side to side. Awesome. One more little swish side to side, and then we're just going to gently draw the roller up and in so it's right underneath the knee crease. So in the bend of the knees. And then once you've got it there, a gentle, so you're going to let the movement come from your hip joint, and you're just going to swish your knees a little bit side to side. So not a lot of pressure on. We don't want to put a lot of weight into that space, but we just kind of want to smush around the backs of the knees and let that connective tissue just get a little bit of movement. Awesome. One more little swish side to side, and then you're just going to bend your knees a little bit, pull that roller on up and in. So you're going to find that middle part of the backs of your thighs, and then let the thighs get nice and heavy. Both hands are going to press into the right thigh. You're going to press and smush that muscle tissue into the roller. So let the muscles be soft and let your arms do the work here. One more little smush side to side, and then we're going to take it over to the other side. So let the muscle tissue be soft. Press both hands into the top of the thigh and then smush it around a little bit. Beautiful. One more little smush around there, and then walk your heels in so that you can walk that roller closer. We're going to hoist the butt up, place it onto the roller, and then step your feet to a nice wide distance. So think about shoulder width distance apart, or maybe to the outer edges of your mat, and then just start to swish your knees side to side. Cool. And then we're going to start to take it further. So as you swish your knees side to side, you're going to roll to one hip and then take it over the other way. Knees move and then roll onto the hip. Beautiful. Now, the next time you roll over to the right side, stay there and give a nice, generous roll up and down. So we're working in the glute muscles. So think gluteus medius, gluteus minimus, and the thickest part of your gluteus maximus, but we're not going to stay on the IT bands. We're not rolling down the side of the thigh. Great. One more roll up and down here. And then when you're ready, we're going to take it over to the other side. So roll over and across, and then roll up and down. Beautiful. One more roll up and down here, and then bring it back to center, both hands on the roller. We're just going to lift the butt off and then take that roller and move it right along so it's underneath the shoulder blade. So we're going to lean back just a little bit, give a little crisscross of the arms, and then start to find a little gentle rock side to side. And as you start to move here, you'll pay attention to how your feet feel. And then if you need to readjust your feet so that you have a good supportive part of your body down at the feet and the legs, readjust as needed. Take one more little rock side to side. And then whichever arm is on top, as you come back to center, you're just going to switch your hand hold, give a hug in the other direction, and then rock it a little side to side. Nice. One more little rock side to side. And then hands are going to come behind the head. So if you need to readjust your roller so that it finds its way back underneath the shoulder blades, because sometimes it just moves around a little bit all on its own. So hands behind the head, get that nice little basket weave. We're going to lean over the roller just a little bit and then lift yourself back up with control. Contract the abdominal muscles to help bring you up. Lean back just a little bit, get that little stretch through the front of the body, maybe that back bend in the thoracic spine, and then lift up with control. Beautiful. One more time. Lean back. Bring yourself up with control. Firm up your abdominal muscles, push into your feet, lift up away from the floor with your butt, and then roll up and down from the bottom of the shoulder blades all the way up to the tops of the shoulders. Keep your head a little supported so you're not yanking into the neck, so everything feels good across the back of the body and through the front of your neck and your throat. Beautiful. One more good roll up and down. And then as you come towards the tops of the shoulders, you're going to soften your butt down to the ground and then move that roller on up so that it's underneath your head like a pillow. Once you've got that roller in a good position underneath your head, let your hands come out at your sides or hold on to the roller if it feels better to keep it supported. And then you're just going to rock your head gently side to side. One more turn of the head side to side. And then as your head comes back to center, you're going to lift your head up away from the roller, grabbing both ends of the roller, reaching the roller up and overhead, stretch your legs nice and long, one roll up to come up to a seated position. So take a big inhale. As you exhale, roll your way on up, reaching past your toes if you can. Cool, and then lift yourself back up. We're going to spin the legs out to one side so we can place the roller onto the ground. And then with your hands on the roller, you're going to push your way up, find your way up into a folded fold position. So you're going to walk your roller back towards your feet, give a good steamroll to the tops of the feet. Beautiful. One more steamroll to the tops of the feet, and we're going to leave the roller on the ground, come up to a standing position, nice and slow. Step your right foot onto the roller, and then just away we go. We're going to roll the bottom of the foot from heel to toe. Nice. One more soft roll, and then we're going to pull it in, lean in, hand on the knee, put as much pressure on as feels good, and then slow it down just a little bit, work from heel to toe. Beautiful. One more roll up and down here, and then lift off, set that foot down, and right to the other side. Left foot on the roller, and nice soft roll to the bottom of the foot. Wonderful. One more soft roll here. And then as you pull it in, lean in, put a little pressure on that knee. And with as much pressure on as feels good, slow it down so you can really mush through the bottom of your foot. Awesome. One more roll through the bottom of that foot. And then lift off, set that foot down with both feet on the ground. Inhale, take a nice big breath, reach up and overhead. And then as you exhale, we're going to fold forward. Hands can find the roller or hands can find the toes, whatever works for you. And then just take a second to come back to that assess. Notice the back of your body. Notice the backs of your legs, your butt, your low back, your shoulders, the back of your neck. Nice. And then when you're ready, bend your knees a lot, pull your abdominal muscles in, come up slow and controlled. And then we're just going to give everything a little shake to finish. So shake your arms, just get a little hokey pokey action, get a little energy back down to the fingertips. Pick up one leg, give it a good generous shake. Pick up your other leg, give it a good generous shake. Give everything a little shake, a little wiggle, a little bounce. Get all that lymphatic movement going on. Nice. And then you guys are done. You guys are amazing. Nice work today.